So I have another idea to work out and expand your mind a little more, and it's already based on the concept, but we're gonna build upon the concept, and that's leveraging. And depending on the leverage, things can be more difficult or harder for you. Now, if you're doing a pull-up and your arms are wider, that's going to be harder for you to do because you have a wider force and worse leverage to pull yourself up with, and that can be used at your you can use that to your advantage, to where you can leverage your grip better so you handle the weights better, so then it'll be easier for you to do, such as instead of gripping out of your tips, you grip it closer to your palms. And so we're going to build upon that idea where, because you can do it, you can work out with basically minimal weight, basically 1 kilogram of weight, if you use leveraging correctly in my way of idea. And I'm not saying this isn't just about palm position, this is actually taking it to another level. But first of all, we need to explain it with engineering. So if we take a look at the skateboard, I'm holding it and it's easy to hold up, and that's because these forces are being pulled down, and each force, say we have a force here and a force here pulling it down, these are basically uniform against my hand here and creating the equal moment arms for my hand to counteract. But say I hold it just at the tip, and you know how hard that is. Ow, that's so hard, and you can barely do it, and that's because of moment arms. And that's where a moment arm equals force times distance. And because of that formula, now you can see where I'm starting to go. So the more distance you have, the less force you need to create a moment arm. That's the same force as one that would be at a shorter distance but more force. So in order to get the same force with a force here, the distance has to be less, so you have to have more force going down here but more distance on this side to equal the same force here. So you can start to see where I'm getting from. Potentially, when you lift your weights, this is such a silly idea, but say you are doing some type of lift. Potentially, say you're doing a bench press, okay? Say the skateboard goes all the way up here, and we just add like a 20 kilogram weight, but the distance is like so long, you wouldn't even need that much. The force required to push that from down here when the weight is up here will be immense, and you wouldn't even have to use that much weight because the distance is that much. So that's just something to think about. Just imagine how hard that would be if this thing is super long but with a tiny little weight up there, and you're just at the bottom trying to push it forward. Now that would be a good workout. That would be hard. You wouldn't know what particular weight, but you would know the force, so technically you would know the weight after you calculate things out. But as long as you're doing the work and you adjust the weight or the distance to a particular force, to a particular rep style, then it would work. And the thing is, yeah, easy.